Well. What have we got here then? Well, while the cat's away, you better strap in, bitches, because you're in for a wild ride. Hit it! Hello and welcome to the God is a Geek podcast, your new favourite podcast about all manner of stuff. Game of Thrones is happening, football's happening, lots of stuff's happening. I am your host, Adam Cook, and with me this week, it's our hirsute hero, Calvin Robinson. How are you, mate?
What are you doing here? What's going on?
Oh, well, I don't know. Someone couldn't be bothered to be here.
He's on season 5?
Someone's on holiday, Cal. Did you authorise that? Because I don't recall authorising that.
I don't remember authorising any holidays.
No. But, I mean, look, if he gets burgled while he's away, I mean, it's only really got himself to blame. It's not just us, Cal, though. He's the man of the minute. If there's trouble, he'll be in it. Soon he's getting married. In the bedroom, she'll be carried. With a deed we will discuss, but he'll always have time for us. He didn't come here for a ruckus. He came here to entertain us. It's NaylZ. It's Dan Naylor.
Amazing.
That was incredible. Thank you, Adam. Hello. Oh, Colm, he's just thrown down the gauntlet for you, mate. That's.
Oh, we're not done. Calv, can you drop a beat for me, mate?
I can't really.
Oh. Okay, this is going to be shit without a beat, but his name's Dan Murphy, and he's here to say, all you other motherfuckers get out of my way. He's got a sick blind dog, and he's from up north. On the podcast is where we learn these facts that are unearthed. Only 19, he's a mature young man. Yeah, not long ago his life began, but he brings the knowledge, he brings the shit. Here he is now with some Wanderer wit. Go, Dan.
Amazing. Yay. What?
Fantastic.
I'm so happy.
Where's the Wanderer wit? You got to say something witty now, or it doesn't work.
Oh no, I've been put on the spot again. I'm just sitting back by how amazing that was. I can die happy now. That's my life completed. Thank you so
when
much.
I said, Cal dropped me a beat, I just thought I was going to get, I just thought something was going to happen, something magic that, that we talk about for years to come.
You're the wrong person here.
I will never forget it, don't
We'll never forget. How was everyone? Is everyone good?
I'm fine.
Amazing. How have you been, Adam? It's been a
I'm
long
great.
time.
I'm great. I've been playing lots of games. You know how it is. Been drinking a beer for my man Mick Fraser, no longer with us, and playing a load of games because he's not here to do it. So
may God rest his soul.
Yep, another one gone. Calv, let's listen. I get the feeling this is going to be a really long podcast, so let's not mess around too much. Let's just kick it off. Calv, what on earth have you been playing? Have you been playing some?
I've been playing video games.
Have you? Which ones?
Mortal Kombat X, which is the official name, isn't it? Which really bugs me.
It is. Yep, it's the 10th Mortal Kombat, but it is called Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah, I heard it in the intro. It was like Mortal Kombat X, and it just made me cringe. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, if you're going to use Roman numerals, at least use it as a numeral. But anyway,
but is it for the abbreviation MKX?
I mean, what does the X stand for then?
Extreme.
No, Extreme begins with an E.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Do you like it? Do you like the game?
Yeah, I do. I like it, and yeah, you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Graphically, it's not on par with the last Mortal Kombat, the reboot, which is weird. It feels kind of, I don't know, the art style feels more subtle. It's very soft-toned, and I don't know if it works as well as it did previously. Injustice, for example, looks a lot better than the new Mortal Kombat X, which I don't know why. Gameplay-wise, it's different. They've mixed up the moves quite a bit. I've been playing as Sub-Zero just now before the cast, and that is not the Sub-Zero that I know and love. But he's still cool. He's still good fun to play.
How far into the story are you?
I think I've just finished Act 2. So I've done...
Kotal Khan.
Yeah, I've done him. After that, there was a training exercise. So basically, I played as Johnny Cage, which I didn't like. I never liked Johnny Cage. Then I played as Sub-Zero, which was amazing. I love Sub-Zero. And now I'm on to the next one.
See, I can't remember where Sub-Zero's bit is in the story, because you start... It's first chapter's Johnny Cage, second chapter's Kotal Khan, which I absolutely hated. By far the worst.
He was alright. He was better than Cage.
Really?
Yeah, I almost forgot about him. But yeah, he was okay. And then Sub-Zero was straight after him.
That's right, because the youngsters are going... Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, Sub-Zero still plays well. I really like this story, I have to say. I really like the Injustice story. I really like the Mortal Kombat 9 story. Yeah,
it's a bit overly cliche at times.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you don't really need a one-liner there. It would be better without it, but...
there's a corker near the end, like a proper cheese. I was going to write him a review like, yeah, it's not too bad. It stays the right sort of cheesy, and then I heard that line, I was like, okay, well, I can't say that, because that's a banger, you know.
Yeah. It's a good storyline as well, because obviously every Mortal Kombat game, they pretty much have to reinvent a reason to get the whole gang back together, and this time they've gone, no, allow it. Some of the characters are dead, some of them have moved on, some of them have children now. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool, I get behind that.
Oh, some of the kids, great names. I mean, they want to hide into nothing, because with Mortal Kombat 9, they told Mortal Kombat 1 through 3 over again.
Yeah.
So with this, they've kind of had to do something new, and they've introduced the kids. And I think if you've got to disengage, haven't you? You've got to just go, look, this is Mortal Kombat. It's daft. It's stupid. Who cares? And it's fine, and you enjoy it. I actually really like the story mode. I'll never play it again. I finished it. I won't bother playing it again, but it was really, really good.
Yeah. And you know what I love about it? When you leave if you don't play it all in one sitting, when you leave the single player, and the next time you go back to it, there's like a timeline, and that's what I've been asking for ages. So you don't just see the chapters where you are at the bottom. You see a physical timeline, as if you were on VLC player or something watching a movie. So you see how many minutes into the gameplay you are and how many minutes you have left, so you can judge on how much gameplay is remaining. I love that. That's something I've wanted from games for so long. I hate not knowing how much of the game is left.
I don't like to talk too negatively, because I like to think of the positives, but I think we have to address it. What do you... I mean, my review's up there so people know what I think, but just to clarify, I think this game's really in your face with its microtransactions and nickel and diming of you. How does it come across to you? Are you on PS4, but first of all?
Xbox One.
Okay, so... See, that may make a large difference, because I don't know if you'll know this, but the PS4 version is region locked for multiplayer.
What does that mean? You can play against Europeans?
Yeah, well, I assume it's Europeans and not just UK, but I had a bastard of a time actually getting any games and trying to review it. Eventually I did, obviously, but it was not easy.
I can get that, because it's a fighter. Any other game I'd say, not a good idea, but because it's a fighter, you need that low latency.
I suppose, but what do you make of the whole microtransaction thing? Did it come across the same way to you as it did to me?
It's absolutely disgusting. First of all, this should never, ever, ever, ever be an option for an easy fatality, whether you earn it or buy it. That goes against the principles of Mortal Kombat.
Well, it was there to begin with, but it was a cheat code. Not in this one. I mean, originally it was a cheat code for that sort of thing. So for me, fatalities has always been the hardest part of MK. It's always been something you strive to achieve. You're like, back, 4, back, X circle. Oh, shit, I pressed square. Yep.
Like, that has
and you've just slapped him in the face, and you've looked stupid. Yeah.
That is the whole fun of Mortal Kombat. So to take that out, that's ridiculous.
I agree. I will say the one I have more of a problem with is the skip match token. I find that absolutely insane that a developer has so little confidence in their game that they put a token in there you can use that lets you skip a match because you aren't enjoying it.
Game mode?
It's in the campaign. So say you aren't enjoying, because I tested it. I had to make sure it worked, and I thought, you know what, I really am not liking this Kotal Khan. So I just skipped one of his fights to see what it did.
I did see that. You get retry, skip, or quit. I didn't know retry was something you had to purchase though.
No, retry is fine. Retry skip is
yes.
Yeah. You can find them in the crypt. Now, the crypt's really cool because you walk around and you unlock loads of stuff, and you unlock brutalities, fatalities, you unlock loads of stuff, concept art, music, but you also unlock or get skip match tokens and easy fatality tokens. And for those who don't know, you can also buy easy fatality tokens, and you can buy for 20 quid, I think it is, the complete unlock of the crypt. Now, my worry is so say you unlock everything in the crypt, and then you use up all your easy fatalities. Where do you get them from? You have to then surely go buy them, right?
Just don't use them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I again tested them, but then I don't like it. I don't
like microtransactions in this kind of game anyway.
No.
I don't see the purpose of it.
I mean, Dan, have you got any feelings one way or another on this?
I always just feel that if microtransactions are like, if your game is designed around if you've got microtransactions in your game, you can't really trust the developers really to develop the game to not make the microtransactions viable.
Yeah.
So, for a full priced game as well, I can't really I don't really like it in the slightest, to be honest with you.
I find it shocking that they've made it, because the day one patch for the game nerfed the amount of coins you got as a payout for winning a match, which you could then spend in the crypt on things like easy fatality tokens. And it drastically almost made it 10% of what it had been. So reviewers were giving it to review where you'd unlock things in the crypt pretty quickly, pretty easily. You'd always have plenty of coins. In the actual thing, if players want to play it, it's a lot harder to get that, and it's almost pushing them towards getting, the full crypt unlock or paying for these easy fatalities, which is shocking if it affects game design.
Well, being part of the elite reviewers cabal that everyone thinks exists in the games media, I have heard that the patch... Well, look, I know when the patch came because I know someone who had it pre-Street Day, and he told me when the patch came. I don't know when other people got review copies. I know they got them before us because we got ours very, very late, hence why our review wasn't up before it came out. It's shady, but I can't honestly stand here and say I know for a fact that they nerfed the coins after reviews. If they did, well, it's Mordor all over again, isn't it? But we don't know that they did that. I mean, I should state, you can't go in the crypt and say, right, I'm going to unlock easy fatalities. There's just random gravestones, and as you pay to unlock them, it's a random... I mean, there may be a map that someone's put online that says, this, go here to unlock this, that, and the other. But generally speaking, you might get an easy fatality. The next one you pay 1,000 coins for, with a K. You get like a concept art. It's kind of cool, actually, the crypt. I've always liked that, and they've gone really far with it. It's a shame because it's a really good fighting game. They've added, like Calv says, they've added stuff. Like each character's got 3 styles that you can pick. Like Scorpion, one of them, he has the use of his swords. But if you pick another one, you won't use his swords. I don't know if you've actually seen any of these yet, Calv, but I really like the brutalities. Have you seen them?
So are they what we're calling when you press all the triggers and the bumpers?
No, that's the X-rays you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, I love the X-rays. They're great.
When we were playing that with, I played that Greg for the video. It couldn't stop reflecting on the fact that basically you break someone's skull, then their spine, and then they just get up and carry on fighting.
Yeah, it's like when Kotal Khan got his eye gouged out, and then he's like, whatever.
Yeah. Forgot about that actually. Yeah. No, the brutalities. So they're like fatalities that you perform in the match. So when someone's got enough health left, that's just a tiny sliver of health, if you do the button combo for a brutality, like Johnny Cage's, one of his is, I think, triangle, square, circle. So it's just a combo. But if you do that and it kills them, it will do like an instant fatality. So say... I think it's Johnny Cage that's got this one as well. So he does that thing where he does the splits and punches them in the knackers. Yeah. If you do that as a brutality, he does that and their head pops off, end of match.
Oh, cool. I like that.
And there's I mean, we could talk for hours about Mortal Kombat because there's fatalities.
So is that when their health bar is flashing? Because you do see it's flashing red when they're nearly dead.
Yeah, I think it's when they're basically a combo or a special away from dying. You do the brutality, and it's just a different thing. I can see it being one of those things where in tournaments people are like, because some of them require like real specific stuff, like you have to do this 3 times during the fight. So you'll be able to tell, you'll be able to see it. Like, oh, is he gonna do that? And it'd be like, I just think it could make for some entertaining matches. But yeah, a lot of death.
Before we move on, though, mate, tell me what is temples, because I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. I didn't want to jump in.
There's 3 temples, because the temples are normally just like ladder fights, but they've created what they call living temples. Yeah. And these are Destiny dailies, basically. Every game's got to have dailies in now, hasn't it? Because they've all got to be MMOE, but they're not. So the temples are there's an hourly, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's a weekly and a premium one, and basically they have, like, say, one's 5 battles, and there's modifiers for the fight. So, like, there's one where, like, there's something to do with gravity, like you punch someone and they stay in the air, or you get punched and you stay in the air for longer. There's one where, like, there's bombs being thrown all through the match. There's another where if you do a combo that you freeze people, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but there's a lot of death in Mortal Kombat.
I do have one question, sorry, before we move on, regarding Mortal Kombat. I've never been a big fighting game guy or anything, so if I get Mortal Kombat, can I get through the story with little trouble?
Yes. The story mode always, to me, feels as though it is designed to teach you how to play with each character, because the problem is like, well, it's not a problem. You start as Johnny Cage and you'll do 3 or 4 fights. I think it's mostly 4 fights each time. And then after that, you change to Kotal Khan and you do 4 fights as him. So every time you start, each time you change character, you're going to hit start, you're going to look at the moves and have to learn how to play as them. And there is a really good tutorial, actually, as well, that I ran through just to refresh my memory. So
I am tempted. Also.
It's a really good game. I mean, it is. We talk negatively about the microtransactions because they're disgusting, but it is. I mean, press X to buy Goro. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have nothing against you selling characters for me to buy in a fighting game. I'm fine with that. That's a nice way to extend the life of your game. But do not put them in the roster if I haven't bought them with an X saying press X to buy him. That's outrageous.
Christ.
And also, Calv, you'll see this as you carry on through it. There's a lot of characters that you fight against that aren't playable. So, do you remember Sindel, the one who screams? Like, yeah, you fight against her at one point, but you can't play as her. So, I wonder if she'll be DLC. Do you think possibly? Yes. But speaking of death,
go on.
No, go on if you want to talk.
I was just going to say it is a good game, but it's not great. MK9 was great, and Injustice was fantastic. This has just gone back down to good, which is a shame.
Yeah, I do really like it. I think the problem I have with it is that I'm not going to be going online with it like a lot of people will be, and that means that within a week I'll be done with this because the story mode is great, but I'll only play it once. The towers are great, but I will bore of them quickly, and I'm not really the kind that does dailies or hourlies or whatever. And after that, you know, let's continue talking about death because Dan, sorry, I have to stop. I'll differentiate you two. Murph, you've been playing Bloodborne still.
Yeah, still stuck in the same area, the first area. I'm not getting past it. I don't think. I know. I can do it now. I can wipe out everyone around that fire now with relative ease. I've leveled my guy up a fair bit, and I can do I can batter the trolls with the gun parry. Then you rip the heart out, which is like the best thing ever. But I don't think I'm ever beating that boss or going anywhere else because, well, for one, I'm not good at it. But like, I can't deal with how like vulgar the whole world is. It proper just. It just proper. I can't. As I said before podcast, I can't do horror, and just the world is just so suppressingly horrible. It just creeps me out. Just the noises you hear in the distance of weird beasts and screams. Oh my god, I can't go up with it at all.
I must admit, I've been playing a lot of Bloodborne myself. I reckon I've hit the 20-hour mark now. And with every Souls game, and it is a Souls game, and like people can have a go if they want. I mean, I saw, was it Microsoft's guy who congratulated Sony on their new IP, and I thought, it's not really though, is it? It's just a new name. It's not really. Is that what counts for a new IP now, Calv? If it's just a new name for a game?
I think so.
Okay, but it is a Souls game, and there always comes a point in the Souls games where I get to that, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this bullshit now, right? I'm out, and I think I'm there. I've got to a bit where, like, so you guys all know that if you rest at a lantern or a bonfire, all the enemies respawn. You know that, right? In the Souls games?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, then in this section I've got to, and we won't dwell on it because it's spoilery, but in this section, they respawn anyway, whether you rest or not. So you might kill 5 guys, and they will respawn within 10-15 minutes.
Oh, is this the section that everyone's tweeting about?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit, and it made me. I don't know. I don't like that bit. And to me, even though they're difficult games, they're rewarding with how hard they are, and I'm always having fun. Whereas now, this bit, it's like I just have to get through this somehow. I just have to finish this bit, and I've heard there's even worse to come. So that you know, I'm surprised you've not picked it up, Calv. Or you actually, Nails, because. It's a PS4 exclusive, and we're all PS4 owners, and I think most PS4 owners have bought it because it sold 1 million, didn't it?
I'm probably like Dan. I just don't like those overly horrible environments and those horror games. Yeah, no.
And like you were saying about you reached that point in the Souls games where you just kind of go, no more, I'm not doing this. I found that pretty early in the Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 what I've played before. I've put maybe 10 hours into each and then just never went back to it. So I was like, to be honest, knowing me, going to do the same thing here, so I'm not even going to bother picking it up.
See, the thing is with the Souls games, is you say like you put 10 hours in, but I mean, like I bet Murph's put in 10 hours
easily,
and he hasn't left the starting area, so it's like it's really difficult to know how far you got. Because I've been playing. I will say I was listening to, I think it was last week's podcast where Colm talked about it, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was saying about the technical stuff. I have to agree with him. Like, I love the Souls games, but it is bullshit. The loading times are fucking abhorrent, and the frame rate. I mean, he didn't even get to the bits where it's bad. Like, I'm not being funny, but there are bits in that game where it's just like, this is a PS4 exclusive. This is a first-party game, essentially. It's unacceptable, and I've died because the frame rate shitted out. And I've also been playing Dark Souls 2, The Scholar of the First Sin, where that's 1080-60, and I know it's a HD remake thing, but technically, it puts it to shame. And that's weird, I think.
Yeah, it really is meaning to play at times Bloodborne, despite how grand and ambitious the world is in its design. It just is, like... as I said last week, I am not one to really moan about frame rates. I can hardly tell the difference, but it does knock you sick a few times, the frame rate. And when the camera just loses you and you get killed, it's very frustrating.
Speaking of frustrating, we should move over to Dan Naylor, because he's been playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Is that frustrating, how long it takes to get going, Dan?
No, I'm loving it. I know you said it. Well, I've heard reports from people saying that it takes about 20 hours to get really good.
I'd say about 15.
15,
tops.
Okay. Well, I'm in about 6 hours, like, over the past couple of days. And I'm loving it at the moment. It doesn't particularly feel like it's going slowly. It's nice to almost have a driving force in, like, to want to kind of progress the story a little bit. Because I know I love Skyrim, but you'd kind of maybe start a mission and just get distracted on the way to it, if that makes sense. Whereas here, the distractions are there, but I feel it's more in keeping with the story if I go and, pursue whatever I was meant to be doing for a little while at least, which then makes it a bit more interesting. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
See, I think Cal will back me up on this. Like, the reason people say Dragon Age Inquisition takes 15 hours to get going, I don't think that's actually true. I think it only takes about 5. But that first area, everyone says the same. Don't stay there. Don't try and do everything. Just progress the story. But you do spend about 10 hours there, didn't you? Do that, Cal?
We play it wrong, don't we?
Yeah, we do. You need to just get that story bit done, go off and carry on the story. But you stay in that first wooded area like for hours, don't you?
So yeah, there's a lot to do there. But I mean, I went and did a bit, and then went.
Yeah, and you can't finish everything there in the first time either.
Yeah, no, well, I haven't. I did some stuff, and then I've been to there's the city. I can't remember what it's called. Val something or other. Anyway, it's like the first city they send you to. I've been there. I've unlocked the coast bit. That's like another area, and there's a dragon fighting a giant or something, which should not have tried to fight them so early in the game. And then I've been back to Hinterlands, done a few more things there. So I'm kind of taking it in bits and pieces. I'm not trying to be completionist and go, I must do everything in this area.
No. Did you ever finish it, Calv?
No, I didn't actually.
No, me neither. Just fell away from it, and it's one of those, just like a Zelda game. You fall away from it, you're never going back to it, are you?
I will go back, I swear.
Well, speaking of games that you've gone back to, GTA.
Oh, I've tried to go back to GTA. It's a bloody pain in my backside. So apparently, there's a common problem, but when I tried to launch the game, it says, this launcher has failed to start. Would you like to report the problem? Blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, we're talking PC version, right?
Yeah, talking the PC version on Steam. Purchased at full price with the 40 quid with the bonus, 1,350,000.
60 gigs downloaded.
Yep, and I can't launch the bugger. It's getting on my damn nerves. So I launch it. Well, I press play. Straight away it says, this program has failed to launch. Unexpected error. And I've Googled it and everything. Everyone's saying things like, create a new user, because apparently it needs admin rights, although I have admin rights, but you need a user on Windows with only letters, no spaces, no funny characters.
What?
I'm thinking, how did this get through QA? And I thought, okay, maybe it's just me, but then as I was trying to launch the game on Steam, friends would be messaging me saying, how did you get the game to launch? I'm like, no, don't worry, I didn't get it to launch, I was trying. So other people are experiencing it. It seems to be quite a common issue.
See, I knew nothing of this at all. I played the first sort of 40 minutes of it just to have a quick look. And
there's a patch on the way.
Oh, is there? As I say, I played it literally the day it came out because I'd preloaded it, and I knew nothing of this.
MK10 on PC is having the same issues.
Yeah, I've heard. Oh, see, I heard MK10 was more about they're trying to do some sort of weird streaming thing with it.
Well, I don't know what's causing it, but I don't think anyone's come out and said anything from Warner yet, but at least Rockstar have said they're working on a patch for theirs, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so as of yet, I haven't played the PC version. I've seen some nice stuff coming out on the editor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks gorgeous. I mean, I've played the first hour. I actually couldn't run it on completely every setting on top because it dropped. Well, I could, but it just dropped to 30 frames, and I wanted the 60 experience. So I think it was the AA stuff that I had to lower from whatever 16 to 8 or something. You know, it's stuff you probably wouldn't even notice unless you got a really good monitor. You know, but that's a shame because did you get it on PS4?
No, I didn't get it on current gen. I only had played it on. I had it on Xbox 360 and PS3.
Oh shit! So you're going to see the thing that everyone's been tweeting pictures about, like, look at this PS4 version, etc.
What's that?
Oh, like when the PS4 version came out, everyone was just, and myself included, were tweeting pictures from via PS Share, like how much different it looks.
Yeah. I can't wait. I really want to see it on full graphics. I bought a new graphics card, man. I can't even use it.
That's yeah. But speaking of,
this is what I hate about PC, mate. All the fiddling around. I've been making new user accounts on my computer
just
and
to play a game that's 2 years old at this point.
Oh, forget it. I'll just go back to Xbox One and play MK10.
Well, speaking of a game that's at least 2 years old, Murph has been playing Bastion.
Is it, Murph? Why?
Because I've only played it when I first played it on my laptop, and keyboard controls are the absolute devil. Just make games unplayable, in my honest opinion. So so as it came out on...
That's why you're on this podcast.
Yes.
I mean, last week it was a dog, and this week it's saying that PC and keyboard just makes games worse.
It sounds like a noob.
No, it's just so clunky. I don't like it at all. Controls are the way to go, right? So I've just been playing that literally just for an hour before I came on, and it is. I really like it. It's nice and very pretty. I like how the art style is very fairy tale like.
Oh, it's got a great opening, hasn't it?
Yeah, the narrator just makes it as well, doesn't he? I know he's in
Transistor.
Yeah, that's it. I know he's in there as well, but I think I prefer him in Bastion. I think because it's just so just commentating on how you do it, like when you accidentally roll off a cliff and he's going, you fall to your death. It's just like really, really nice way of storytelling in a very different way. Like I'm not sure how deep or how deep the story goes, but I'm just enjoying it. The combat's I wasn't really enjoying the combat at first because the hammer's a bit of a slow weapon, but in the second world I got like a sword bow staff type thing, so I'm just slicing up enemies quickly now. So combat feels really nice and fast, and yeah, I was really enjoying it. To be honest with you, it's a pleasant game.
It is. I mean, there's not much to say about Bastion. I
guess.
I mean, speaking of not much to say, there's not much to say about the Charnel House trilogy, which I've played. It's only about 90 minutes long, and it's all story. But I did want to quickly mention it because if you do like story games, and you're a PC gamer, which sorry, Murph, you're not, but it's brilliant. It's a brilliant story. It's quite dark. I literally can't say anything about it for fear of spoiling, except for it's large portions of it are set on a train. So there we go. Right, we should move on. But just very briefly to say there'll be something on N++ coming soon on God is a Geek. I'm going to put a video together, probably the co-op stuff, because we've got a preview build of that. It's excellent so far. Like if you liked N+, you're going to love N++. And also I have been playing Titan Souls review. Does anyone care about Titan Souls here?
No.
I was tempted by it, but with the way I fared with Bloodborne, I think I'll skip it to avoid frustration. So.
I would recommend, if you don't like Bloodborne because of its difficulty, you don't play Titan Souls because I think it's possibly harder.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a miss, personally.
Fair enough. Right, so this is the part of the show where it's Calvin's Movie Minute.
Calvin's Movie Minute!
Well, I think it would only be right for us this week to talk about Game of Thrones, wouldn't it?
But that's not a movie.
It's not a movie, but it's
better.
And I haven't seen them yet, so that's...
so good, man, so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Episodes 1 and 2 were kind
then?
of like... have I seen any movies? I probably have. But I've been playing video games this week, mate.
Cal, what about Calvin's Movie Minute? Did you not think of Calvin's Movie Minute?
Actually, I did watch something,
Go on.
but I can't remember what it was now.
It was that good, was it?
Yeah. Oh, I watched Wedding Ringer. Kevin Hart's Wedding Ringer.
Wedding Ringer?
Wedding Ringer, yeah.
Not Wedding Singer?
No, Ringer.
Right.
So this is where he is hired by Grimm's to be a best man or someone at your wedding that gives an amazing, rousing speech and makes you look amazing in front of your wife and friends and family. And he's like, you're paid to do that. That's his job. And yeah, it's a comedy. It's very, very cheesy. It's okay. It's not the best Kevin Hart film I've seen recently. Get Hard was a lot better.
But Game of Thrones is good. Was it good?
Yeah, so I think if you watched just number 1 on its own, you'd be a little bit disappointed. But 1 and 2 together make a really good introduction. I don't know why they didn't do the season premiere as a double special, as they sometimes do.
Did I see right that 5 episodes had leaked?
Four episodes had leaked.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I'd want to watch that many because that's a month where you've got nothing to watch.
I know.
That's why I've not done it.
But I just see it as like, okay,
you've done it, haven't you?
It's on a break now. Yeah, of course I've done it.
I couldn't resist me.
You've done it as well?
Yeah, it's too tempting. I feel really guilty for it, but
So what are you going to do for the next month?
I just feel like it's on break now until it comes out.
Yeah, true.
Because these American shows always go on break anyway for like half a year, so a month's nothing.
Do they do that with Thrones?
No, they don't do that with Thrones.
Usually miss a week for some American holiday.
Yeah.
Last year anyway.
I do think we're rapidly approaching the point where TV as a weekly thing is moving towards the Netflix release the season and let people just go nuts, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I watched that new Daredevil in like a weekend.
Is that any good?
That's absolutely amazing.
Okay, Cal, because I know you watch stuff like this as well.
I just added it to my to-watch list yesterday, because I hate superhero TV shows. I think they're all shit.
Oh, it's very grounded, this one.
But I heard this one's a lot better. So
but Murph, the thumbs up from Murph.
Yeah, it's very dark as well, which is good.
I watched The Flash. That was terrible.
Yeah, I don't fancy that.
Arrow's really cheap. Only thing that makes me want to watch Arrow is John Barrowman's in it now. But other than that, these shows are so cheesy, over the top.
I didn't like Arrow at all.
Oh, no, The Flash and Arrow are both... The Flash has gotten really good now, and the Arrow's been quality. Season 3's dropped off a bit, but Season 2 was absolutely amazing. I don't even care. They are a bit cheesy, can't deny that. But
has Nails watched Daredevil?
No. It's on my to-watch list. I've watched Game of Thrones, yeah.
How many?
Yeah, and I thought it was quite predictable. There was 2 bits that I just was like, yeah. Well, there's one shock, and I counted into it, and I was exactly right. And then there was another bit towards the end, and I was like, oh yeah, that's clearly going to happen. And then it did. So, yeah.
I worry with my Game of Thrones watching, because I was so late to the series, and I watched like all 4 series in the space of about a month and a half. Yeah. I worry that if I start, I'm going to need more.
I do remember it took a lot to get you to watch it.
It did take you a lot.
It's like Breaking Bad. There's a lot of it, and like
that's another one I watched recently, and I was like, no, just nothing.
Yeah, I watched the first season and thought that was good, and then I got into the second season, and it was just like, I don't know, the way people were talking about it, it was like it was a second coming, and I wasn't seeing what other people were seeing in that.
Season 4 and 5's the best. Season 4 and 5's the best with Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but to get to that, I've got to watch about 20 hours of telly, and I could be playing Bloodborne and getting frustrated.
That's okay.
Right, back to games then, chaps. That was Calvin's movie minute. The talking point this week is that music games are very much back. We spoke to Rock Band 4. I personally spoke to Rock Band 4's Harmonix's PR chap. Well, Christ, what was it? A month and a half ago? 2 months? About Rock Band 4. And now Activision have announced Guitar Hero Live.
But I mean, come on. What is this? How? How is this even a thing? I mean, it was amazing that Rock Band was back, but now Guitar Hero 2, this is what ruined it the first time around. Just let one of them come out, let it shine for a bit.
Here's some facts, though, Calv, about Guitar Hero Live.
Throw some facts at me.
It's only guitar. There's no bass, there's no singing, it's just guitar, and there's a new guitar. DLC. Right. I think Activision have... It's cool that they've gone like, we're going to do something totally different, first-person thing, you're going to be on stage... I think they're painting themselves into the corner, because how the hell do you make DLC if every one of those songs has got a video for it? Like, those videos look extremely expensive to make, and betting the bank on it, aren't they?
I don't know, because they're saying that they're going to have the updating roster of GHTV, aren't they? Which is going to have the official music videos.
But that's just music videos. That's the
that you play over. And does each song have its own live track?
Only in the single player, which is the Guitar Hero Live thing.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Where these games need to invest, in my opinion, is in letting you add your own music. So they need to invest in the algorithm that grabs the BPMs from your songs and makes it so because they have had things like that in the past, but it's always been shit, hasn't it?
What's that game on PC, Cal? What's that game on PC?
Frets of Fire.
What's it, sorry?
Frets on Fire.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, yeah, exactly. Because I love these games, like Lips. I still pull that out every now and then at a party, but all the songs are so old now, and if I put my own songs on Lips, it's not as effective as using their ones that you purchase. So that's what they need to do for me. Make these games last longer by enabling you to plug Spotify into it or something.
That would be good.
So, I mean, to the core concept of you're the guitarist in a band, you're on stage, and like the crowd react to your performance, and it's an FMV game, isn't it? Essentially, like, does anyone? What's the thoughts on that? Because it looks. I mean, it could be great playing it because you're not going to be looking at that, are you?
Don't give a shit at that. Who even looks at the background? I remember they had avatars cheering before. No one cares. No. All you need is your fret.
But that's even stranger because if no one cares, why on earth? They must have spent a fortune on it. Even if there's green screen work involved, those people are real. They're real people.
How can we make the game different this time?
Maybe. So, Guitar Hero Live. Then generally, what's the reaction there? Are we? Cause, I mean, I want to play it because I love music games, but I still personally feel more interested or excited about Rock Band 4.
All right, here's the question. For both of these games, can I use all the dozens of peripherals that are littering my room?
Not for Guitar Hero.
Not for Guitar Hero, not at all.
Screw Guitar Hero, then.
Yeah, you need a new guitar for
Not
Guitar Hero.
No,
Although,
not going to happen.
You see, I think the guitar looks interesting.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Mate, I've got this big box full of drums and shit. I've got 2 guitars, microphones. I'm not buying another peripheral.
I think changing the guitar up's a smart idea because it makes it fresh and it goes, right, this is a bit different now.
But it also does mean that they can make you buy a new guitar. So there's definitely a way I mean, they've definitely gone, well, how can we make people buy? But it does look different. As you said, it does look interesting. And you wonder if it will be Emperor's New Clothes sort of thing, whereas Rock Band are saying the opposite, that they want you to be able to use your old controllers. They want you to be able to use your old DLC even, you know?
Yeah, Rock Band's the one for me.
It is for me purely because of the investment factor.
Yeah, I think you're just going to need to buy the game, just the disc, aren't you, for your new console, and then just plug in your old peripherals and you've got all your old music back.
And if you don't have any, they're like £2 at CEX and shit like that now.
Yeah, but the thing about Guitar Hero as well is that obviously it's coming to every platform. They are apparently saying that you will be able to just buy the guitar and use the game, like play the game on iOS, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I just worry that they've invested in the wrong thing, like the background, you know, the FMV. Because I don't know. I do really want to play it because I must admit the guitar looks really cool. I love the idea of changing it. It looks more like, I mean, to me, as somebody who plays guitar, it looks like they're doing what you would do as a guitar, and that's you are spending, unless you're playing lead guitar, you spend a lot of your time around the lower end of the fretboard, or higher end, whichever way around it is. And it does look like it might even have you playing some almost chord shapes, but I don't know.
To me, I think it just depends on which one has the better soundtrack, really. Like, from what I've seen of the new Guitar Hero, there's Gold on the Ceiling by Black Keys and a Fall Out Boy song, and that's a pretty good start, really, but it will just depend on which is the best.
There's a lot of Rolling Stones, apparently. See, I'm more excited about that than Fall Out Boy and Black Keys.
I'm not a fan of Fall Out Boy, but I don't know, it just all depends. Like, when I used to play, I think I played 2, was the last one I ever played, Guitar Hero 2, and like, because I was only little and then I didn't know any of the songs, and I only played like The Killers when you were young, so that was the only song I'd ever play on it. So it just, I don't know. I was sure on the announcement, yeah.
It's almost like Activision are betting on you wanting to buy their game for the new peripheral and the new soundtrack, whereas Rock Band are selling their game on you being able to use your old stuff and your existing soundtrack. Because Harmonix haven't announced any details of their soundtrack yet, as far as I know.
Yeah.
NaylZ, where do you stand then? Do you like these games? Do you care at all that they're back?
Guitar Hero 3, and then I got World Tour with a full drum kit and stuff. It was pretty fun. The handful of times
World Tour was great, wasn't
it? It was fun. The handful of times that I had my mates round and we all played it together.
Right.
Other than that, I didn't particularly enjoy it. It got old pretty quickly playing it on your own because you soon have, of the roster of the songs, there's maybe 5 or 6 that you absolutely love playing. Mm-hmm. So you'll play them, memorize them. You know, it stops becoming kind of a challenge. It stops being as much fun. And unless you're playing it with other people, you know, the other instruments are kind of just going to waste.
Taking up space.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, I've not used it since, to be honest, not even thought about it since then. When they came out, I'm not bothered this time around either.
Calv, are you happy that this thing's coming back? This phenomenon's coming back? Do you care?
Yeah, I love music games. I really do. I think DJ Hero 1 and 2 were two fantastic games. The Rock Band series was great. I know.
Hang on, can we just stop? Oh, DJ Hero. What a fucking game that was, eh?
Amazing.
Let's make it. In fact, it's the DJ Hero guys that are making Rock Band, making Guitar Hero live. So that gives me a lot of hope, you know.
If I could use my peripheral, yeah.
That's genuinely annoyed you, hasn't it?
I can't overemphasize that I don't have room. I literally don't have room for these. I've got, you know, the Rock Band Beatles drum kit box. You know how big that is?
Oh, have you got the Rock Band Beatles one?
Yeah.
I massive. Love that. I always regretted not buying that.
Oh yeah, that's my favourite Rock Band game by far. I played so much of that because I'm not into rock music, but I love music games. That's why DJ Hero and Lips were my favourite ones. And when it came to Rock Band and Guitar Hero, it was all about the Beatles one.
Rock Band Beatles. I would. I'm not giving anyone any ideas. I would pay money for a new gen version of that.
Me and Aaron Sullivan, who used to work for Goddess Keep back in the day, we played so much of that. He used to come around literally just to play that, and he was pretty good on the guitar as well.
That was a great game. I mean, that was one of those where you could just do the vocals because of all the harmonies in the Beatles songs. That was superb. But I think that's the best rhythm game ever made, actually, Rock Band and Beatles, just because of the soundtrack, I suppose. But
I only played it once. It was in the middle of a Tesco.
Really?
Yeah, me and a mate were there around. I think it was lunchtime. We'd gone for some food in the middle of school, and just there were two guitars and no one was playing it. It was worse as well that I worked in that Tesco. I didn't think of that, and so after I'd done it, but never mind.
I'll tell you what. I mean, for those that like the band, Rock Band Green Day was quite good as well. Was that Rock Band or was that Guitar Hero? No, it was Rock Band, wasn't it?
I missed the Green Day one. I never saw that.
No, that's quite. I'm trying to think if that's Rock Band or Guitar Hero now.
I wish I had known about it. I love Green Day.
Guitar Hero did Aerosmith, and did the Van Halen one come out? It did, didn't it? But it was ended up got given away, I think. And they did Metallica, didn't they? Guitar Hero did Metallica. Jesus Christ, there was a lot of them games back then, wasn't there?
That's why it died, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's so I understand.
So, Calv, you are interested, but it sounds like you're Rock Band 4. Nails, well, I'm not sure. Where are you sitting at the moment, then?
Me, I'm not bothered.
Oh, okay. Murph, where are you? Either one, or...?
It was Rock Band Green Day. I just looked it up, and I don't know. I don't really think I've got the money personally to afford it really either way. But I think one way that I think would be good. I don't know if they'd ever do this, but one way I'd like to see them go is more of a you don't pay for a game. You download. You buy your peripherals, but then you download. I think SingStar did it, where you download the game, then you just buy your songs that you want to play.
They tried to go down that route, mate. That's what they were trying to do. They had all these download apps that you could get on Xbox 360.
It was Rock Band Network, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't bother with it.
See, I'd be more interested if it was something like that, instead of having to buy the whole game and spend £100 on the game and all the peripherals and stuff, because I just can't really justify
it's all about the songs, isn't it? Which it should be.
Exactly.
I think Activision will create a subscription model for Guitar Hero Live. You've got to bear in mind they've come out and they said the game's coming in autumn. They've shown 3 or 4 tracks from the soundtrack and roughly what the game is about. But just looking at it, the FMV stylings of it, I think the fact that there's going to be music videos for the Guitar Hero multiplayer thing, I think they're going to create a subscription, like a day pass. Buy a day pass and you can play loads of songs. I think they're going to do that.
That would certainly interest me more than buying a full game outright, if you get me.
Yeah. Okay, it was time for Guess Who.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Metal Gear.
It's me, Mario.
No barrel roll.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Hail to the king, baby.
For those who don't know, Guess Who is basically, normally Colm gives 5 clues of a character from a video game, and you guys on the podcast shout your name when you think you know who it is. You only get 3 chances, and as he usually says, I've not got why he says this bit yet, but to the victor go the spoils, of which there are none, but let's not dwell on that. Right, first clue then. He first appeared as a playable character in 1993, but not in the first game of the series. Clue 2. He's a ranked officer in the Special Forces. Clue 3. He has a daughter that appears in the same series of games.
Calvin? Johnny Cage?
No. Clue number 4. You wouldn't want to get into a fight with him. He's got very strong arms.
Calvin?
Yep.
Jax.
Correct. Well done, Cal.
Hey.
See, now, I mean, the clue 5 was his latest appearances in the 10th main game in the series, in which both he and his daughter appear. I mean,
okay.
I thought,
you know,
because in the story there was an emphasis on your family love your military rankings, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, he's a major. He's Major Jax Briggs, and because mainly picked him this week because I love the fact that Jax, whose name is Jackson and his nickname is Jax, called his daughter Jackie, and and there's a scene that Calv, you've obviously not got to it yet, where when you play as him in the story.
Oh no.
I don't know if is it a spoiler? I don't know. Look, if you really super care about Mortal Kombat mythology and lore and like a 5-second part of the story, just press it on your iPad, press the plus 15 seconds bit. He's wearing a farmer's outfit
Why?
Because he's retired and he's tending to a tractor in like a farmhouse shed.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
his fatality's the best. I've seen them all. I think and he's just by far the best.
Johnny Cage, I do like his, but I have no idea how they get away with that. Either of his, actually. The first one where he rips their chest apart and says, "Here's Johnny," which is just fine. But his second fatality, he just grabs their head and just pummels it into the ground repeatedly, and it's so over the top, it's funny because it's over the top. Right, listening questions. By the way, Cal, congratulations. You've been on form recently, I feel.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
It's almost like Colm's purposely making sure you don't win, and you're just...
yeah.
Right, some questions then. So, the first one here, Rob Johnson. Which starting weapon did you pick in Bloodborne? You can tell a lot about a man by his weapon. I feel that's a double entendre. Is it? So, what did everyone pick? I picked the the cleaver, the quick weapon.
Yeah, I went with a cleaver too because it just seemed like the most middle of the ground weapon to pick. I didn't want to do anything that would like outweigh my stats in any way. Then I'd get, I'd be at a disadvantage in some way without even knowing it.
That's just us that are slayed, actually, isn't it? So
what does that say about you then?
That we like sharp cleavers. I just think the transformation of that weapon's cooler.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Although saying that the threaded cane's pretty cool because that turns into like a chain thing. There's some really cool weapons in that game, actually. Like everyone's probably talked about the Kirk hammer by now, haven't they? Have you used that at all?
I doubt I'll ever see him, to be honest with you.
The Kirk hammer is basically an enormous tombstone-shaped sort of hammer that goes on your back, and it's a sword. And as soon as you press like your transform weapon, you stuff the sword into the hammer, pull it from your back, and turn it into this great big hammer. It's just cool.
That sounds quite violent.
Yeah, it's very difficult to use. Right, Alex Wozniak asks, you can only play one console for the rest of 2015. Which do you choose? Now, he says console, so it has to be a console. Calf?
I'm gonna go with Xbox One.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
No, PS4. No, Xbox
no.
One.
Be honest. No, I'm just honestly.
I don't know. It's really, really hard. I prefer PS4 functionality and platform and the free games and everything. But on Xbox One, I have my TV.
Oh, right.
And I've got Neverwinter as well, which is great. And Mortal Kombat, and I've got more games on Xbox One right now than I do on PS4. But I prefer the PS4 as a console still.
But if you can only play one for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, I would have to stick with Xbox One, so I can finish Dragon Age Inquisition as well.
Yeah, true. Okay, for me it's PS4 simply because, same reason you said, really. Like, all the games I'm on at the moment are playing Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I've got Sky app on there, like you say, for TV. And in fact, the only thing I've turned the Xbox One on for the last, I'd say 6 weeks, is the 4 On Demand app. Murph?
Judging by the fact I only have one, and that is the PlayStation 4, I'd be hard pressed to go for anything else, really.
Okay, Nails?
Probably PS4 as well.
Okay, you see, I thought there might be an outside chance of you saying Wii U, but
I play Smash Brothers or Mario Kart pretty much every day, but I don't know, just there's nothing else that would tempt me to play it this year, particularly for me. So no, it's going to have to be PS4 because I've got more games on it, and there's more games coming out this year for it.
Did you guys see the Penny Arcade strip of
no.
Mario Party? Okay, check that out. It's cool.
We're sticking with the theme. Similar line of questions. Johnny Lewis asks, he says he's just looked and he can't see much on the horizon for Wii U or PS4. Should owners of these systems sleep until 2016? Will E3 surprise?
I think Wii U, what we know is coming is all that's coming. For PS4, there's maybe not much in terms of exclusives, but you still... Sorry?
God of War.
Well, I was saying there's not much in terms of exclusives, but there are a few, and there's all the stuff that's going to be multi-platform, which Wii U's not going to get.
No.
So I think there's plenty to keep us going.
Yeah.
I think E3 will surprise, but it won't be for surprises for this year, so that won't make a difference anyway.
Well, actually, while we're talking about this, let's ask Nick Gillam's question as well. E3 is only a couple of months away. Do you have any particular hopes for what we will all see there? Games, I hope. Seriously, man. Seriously, a lot of games, I hope. Yeah?
Yeah.
We'd imagine that.
I hope it's the shittest E3. I hope this year is the worst E3 in about 6 years. I really do.
Okay.
Why?
Any particular reason?
Just because I won't be there. I don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, we're going to see Crackdown, surely, because they announced it last time.
Oh, that'll be good, yeah.
Surely we're going to see something on Gears of War. I mean, Halo will be a push. That's Microsoft sorted. Forza 6, they will push that. Sony's the interesting one, because they have actually been putting out games. Bloodborne's out, so Uncharted, they'll show Uncharted, won't they? What else?
Sony have still got like a lot of first-party studios who haven't like really announced anything, like Guerrilla and Bend, them type of people, and so I'd imagine they've got they're holding a lot of stuff back that they will announce at E3.
I reckon the next Gran Turismo will be shown.
Yeah.
I think it has to
Sony
be.
have still got that other game. What's that? That Heavy Rain style game, the horror game.
Until Dawn.
Yeah, Until Dawn. They still got that as well.
I think like they haven't got many AAA exclusives, if that's all, really coming up at Sony. But they've got a lot of games that do look interesting coming to it. Like I made a wee list when I read the question. So if you'll indulge me to let me read through it. So these are the some that I know about and like can recognise. There were a few I've never heard of though, and I recognise some of these have come out on PC first, but they're still coming to the ecosystem at some point. So Alienation, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Drawn to Death, Until Dawn, Hellblade, Let It Die, No Man's Sky still, Not a Hero, Nuclear Throne, Rime, Tearaway, The Tomorrow Children, Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Volume, The Witness, Wild, and Ratchet and Clank remake, which I'm looking forward to.
I think we probably will get some sort of release date for No Man's Sky, don't you think?
I think we will. Yeah. I think there'll be a... what was it? Well, do you reckon there might be some sort of tease for the Last of Us sequel?
No. Personally, I don't think that
No?
they'll get a sequel for... No, I don't think so.
I don't think they could until Uncharted. Well, I'm saying that, would Uncharted be released by then? Oh,
no, because it's been delayed to next year. I think that list you gave there is interesting, because I'm not being funny. As much as some of those games are good, I didn't really hear any games there that are big blockbusters that are going to sell systems. I mean, maybe they don't feel they need to, but I mean, I don't know.
There's definitely no big blockbusters, as you say, but I think every one of those games I'm interested in to see what they're like and have a go of them, because they seem a bit more unique and creative than a lot of stuff going around. Like they're more creative than what Xbox One would put on their system, really. Like I know they've got that hot pot or whatever it's called, Super Hot.
Right, Super Hot, yeah, that looks great.
Deep down as well, but PlayStation have really, like, with the lack of AAAs, they really like invest a lot into their indies stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes out, really.
All I want from E3 is Gears of War.
I want Fallout 4.
So that's definitely happening.
Oh,
yeah, well, that's definitely happening, yeah.
I reckon Ubisoft will announce a pirate online type game, because they did that survey after Assassin's Creed 4, so I reckon that'll be their big surprise, personally.
I mean, seriously, if Gears of War 4 or 5 or whatever the fuck they're calling it isn't shown, I'm going to flip a table. Like, seriously. Or even, it's not even a HD collection. Like, it's actually, Calv, I've been meaning to ask you about that. Like, would you buy a Gears of War Marcus Phoenix collection?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. What, like a proper HD remake? Or...
Yeah, like they did with the Halo games, but the 3 Gears and Judgment all in one
actually
big
working.
box.
To have them
working
in 1080p on the Xbox One with everyone
60 frames
playing
possibly
online again, 60 frames, yeah, that'd be good. I'd buy that.
Yep, I'd buy that, and it'd be a great stopgap till next year, or maybe the
so
year
much
after.
fun on Gears over the walls.
That's what I mean. Like I keep thinking about it. Same with the Rock Band games, but like I don't really want to get the consoles back out. I mean, they should be backwards compatible, but they're not. Right, Tugger asks, who actually has the same name as me, so Adam Cook asks, without Hideo Kojima, can Konami make Metal Gear Solid games to the standard of the previous ones? What do you think they need to do? I'm going to aim that at NaylZ, because he's the Metal Gear fan, I'd say here.
Well, I think MGS5 is going to be exactly what you'd expect for Metal Gear, because he's worked on it so long so far. For future ones, I reckon they'll take it in a different direction, perhaps. Maybe explore the universe rather than more stealth games, if that makes sense. So something more like Rising, for example.
You think we'll get a Rising 2, Revengeance 2?
I think we'll get Revengeance 2.
I do as well.
And maybe other games like that. To the same standard, it's hard what you mean, because there's as much...
It'll be the same engine, won't it? I mean, they'll use that engine. They use that engine in PES, you know?
It'll look, as good, if not better. The story may be less convoluted, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think they'll be different, but whether that doesn't necessarily mean worse.
Okay, I've got a question. Actually, 3 questions here from a chap called Chad Bradderson. He wants to know, what's Dan Naylor's dream job?
I'd love to be a racing car driver.
Okay. Calv, how long does it take you to do your hair?
Too long. That's the official question.
And he wants to know if I like stout, and I don't. So, no, I don't.
Great question.
Great questions from Chad there, Chad Bradderson. Joe Carter asks, please can you make the jingles less loud so they don't hurt my ears? Thank you. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It takes the fun out of it,
though. Stephen Dunner asks, favourite fighting game? I find it so hard to get invested in these types. I'm going to have to take the 5th there because I couldn't pick between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat because I love the mechanics of Street Fighter, but I love how Mortal Kombat just takes itself so seriously and is just absolutely stupid. Calv, favourite fighting game?
I do love Mortal Kombat, but my favourite is Tekken.
Okay. Murph?
As I said earlier, I'm not much of a fighting game type person, really, but I'm going to come out of absolutely nowhere with this one and tell you that my favourite fighting game is the Godzilla one that was on PlayStation 2, like, years ago. It was amazing. I know there's a new one coming out soon, which does excite me, and apparently it's not very good, but I love that game. It was so good, and yeah, it's very good. That's my favourite fighting game. It was so good because you could just be Godzilla or Mothra and just batter.
What was it you were talking about last week? Some farming game?
Oh, Barnyard.
Oh Christ! Still getting started again.
Have you watched it? Have you watched that film yet?
Of course not.
Watch it. I'm telling you all now. Watch it. It's so good.
Nails, what's your favourite fighting game?
Smash Brothers.
What's your favourite real fighting game?
Oh.
No, you can have
the
that.
Star Wars Masters of the Terracast or whatever on PS1. No, it's not really. That was so bad. It's the Smash Brothers.
Okay, Samir Rafiki asks, are you excited for Guitar Hero? We kind of answered that. Marty Greenwell asks, how long will it be before we see ammo in AAA first-person shooters as microtransactions? Now, he's being facetious, but do you think that'll ever happen?
Well, I know... oh, Christ, what's it called?
Call of Duty?
No, I can't think what it is. It's one of the free-to-play ones on PS4.
Warframe?
It might be Warframe. Does that not have payable ammo for better ammo?
Yeah, but that's not a AAA first-person shooter, is it?
No, but I'm just saying that kind of thing is already happening for better ammo. Obviously, I think you'll get the basic stuff. No, but
no, it just makes me laugh.
Incendiary rounds or something like that.
My gun kills you better. It's like my kids are outside playing guns right now, and I've just got this image of them going, yeah, but my bullets are incendiary rounds. And Chris Field asks, what the hell has happened to Tekken versus Street Fighter? It's dead.
Yeah, why?
It's just dead. It's not happening, is it? Come on.
Was Street Fighter across Tekken not a success?
It wasn't a success, no. And it was also not enjoyed by the community, from what I understand. I thought it was all right, but I must admit, it's the least played one I played. It's all right. And we did talk about the challenges of Tekken versus Street Fighter, how the hell do you have a Tekken style game with Hadokens being thrown? I mean, does anyone think that's still alive?
I know nothing about it. So.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, fair enough. Right, Adam Carroll asks, out of the big releases left to come out this year, which ones do you think could be a disappointment? And we're going to go to NaylZ.
I think quite a few. I'm going to say, oddly, Star Wars Battlefront. I think it could be, because they're showing a trailer of it tomorrow, if you're listening to this the day we record it, so Friday. And I think there's a lot riding on it, and there's a lot more excitement for it than I thought. Now, I'm very excited for it. I know a few others on the team are as well.
No, it's just you and Mike.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up, Adam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I feel really bad now.
You're the hard man, remember?
Yeah,
Nails.
Sorry,
it's
yeah.
fine, you can get away
Shut
with that.
the fuck up.
That's better. Desk's just rised a bit.
Right. Anyway, yes, I think there's a lot of hype for it. I think there's, but it could all come crashing down if it doesn't work as well as people want it to be, because it needs to be new and exciting, but also have the spirit of the originals and what people expect. Which I think
it's just going to be Battlefield Star Wars, mate, isn't it?
Well, I think they've already said it's going to be third party kind of thing.
How do you mean?
Not third party, sorry, third person.
Oh right. Oh, is it?
Yeah. Like
okay,
the
it needs
original.
To be very, very, very good then, and technically proficient.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. I think there's a lot that could go wrong in that. Anyway, someone else. That's me.
Calf, out with the big releases left to come, what do you think could be a disappointment?
I think Splatoon. I think a lot of people have hyped it up. I've played it. It's good fun. It's nowhere near as good as everyone's making out it's going to be.
I tell you what, Calv, I don't think he's a violent man, but I think Nick Gillum on staff wants to punch you in the face right now.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's not going to be fantastic.
Okay, Murph?
I don't even know if it's still coming out this year, but if it does, I reckon The Division's is going to be so much of a letdown, because it looks like everything everyone wants, but I just reckon it's going to be it might not even work, knowing Ubisoft's record the past year. And B, I reckon they've laid the groundwork with Assassin's Creed with their sly microtransactions, and I reckon with an online game like the Division, it's going to be riddled with them, I fear. I don't really want to see the outlast of that. So I reckon that'll come out and be a disappointment when it finally does. If it finally does.
Okay. For me, there are games I'm concerned about. Like, I'm still utterly petrified The Witcher 3 won't deliver, because they keep going on about how big it is. Now, there was a story the other day. I was going to tell this story anyway, so this seems like a good time, isn't it? But there's a story, I think it was Polygon had, where they have been saying that the playtesters of The Witcher can only do that game in 25 hours. Like, that's how long it takes the playtesters. Now, that's incredible, because that means that game is probably 50 to 70 hours long for us. Now, the reason I say that is because way back when The Witcher 2 came out on Xbox 360, I reviewed that. And I encountered a bug that was never replicated anywhere else. It was just the luck of the Jeebus. And they could not replicate this bug. Okay, and they had my Xbox and everything to try and work out how it had happened, because you can't just take saves off Xboxes 360s. That system never worked that way, and it did on debugs. But this was a retail disc. This was pre-release. I had a bug in a story that I could not progress. They couldn't replicate it. They couldn't make it. They couldn't force it. So the guys at CD Projekt Red actually took my game and looked at my stats, like what I had, choices I'd made, and they played. I was about 20 hours in, I think, 15 to 20 hours in, and this is late afternoon. The following morning, they had played from the start, got back to that point in the game, and followed my choices and stat choices and characters overnight.
Fucking hell!
So they know their games, is what I'm saying. Those guys, 100% know their games. If they can't do it in any quicker time than 24 hours, that's a beast of a game. Like, that's a beast of a game. And that, if what I've heard, like when Ray went and saw it for us, and a lot of the fears I had, he seems to, from that part of the game, like the first 6 hours, but the first 6 hours is different to like 44 more. And I'm scared that they will have this massive 100-hour game, but the content, it will be more like an Oblivion than a Witcher 2. Calv knows what I mean. But the game I'm going to actually pick, second place would be Rainbow Six, by the way. I don't think that'll be what people think it'll be. But the game I think I'm going to pick is Call of Duty.
Yeah. Because
I think although the Black Ops series is good, it's been up and down, hasn't it? Like the Black Ops 1 and 2 they didn't get received the same way, and I really feel that they are stuck now. They have made such an amazing game in Advanced Warfare with the mechs, with the future stuff. I don't know, and we've talked about this, Cal, haven't we, many times?
But you know what? They're going to do genetic engineering. I
think they are. I think they're going to find a way to make it Advanced Warfare-y, aren't they?
And it's going to work for them.
You already said it's got like exoskeletons and stuff in.
And to me,
in the future, isn't it? That's what I heard.
Even
though it's Black Ops, it's set in... I read something like that. Even though it's Black Ops, it's still set in the future. It just made my head drop, because that's just not what Black Ops is, really.
Yeah. But then at the same time, we were saying how like going back and removing all that stuff would make the game feel slow and crappy. So,
thing is, the competitors have always preferred the Black Ops games. I mean, personally, I think the Black Ops games are shite compared to the Modern Warfare games and Advanced Warfare and Ghosts even. But people seem to prefer the Blops series, so I think it's going to do really well.
Oh, it'll probably sell loads, but I mean, personally speaking, in terms of which game I think will come out and be a disappointment, I think given how, I mean, even Ahern was like, Advanced Warfare's great, and I'd never expected to hear him say that. So that I think they set them. It's harsh because it's not fair to say you set yourself up for a fall because you made an amazing game, but they, in my eyes, they kind of have.
I just wish they'd have gone back to World War II, personally. That's where I want to see Call of Duty.
World at War?
No, World at War was ace, man.
I've never heard a human being say that.
Seriously, I enjoyed World at War.
World at War was the worst COD game ever made.
No, the worst one was Ghosts. The worst one was Ghosts.
Ghosts was 10 out of 10.
But leave it.
I was at Extreme Gaming yesterday in Colchester. He's, a lot of you might know Arthur. He's a community guy, always events and stuff. Two kids walking off the street with German accents. If you want to play Call of Duty, but not the new one. It's like, all right, you don't want to play Advanced Warfare. It's like, which one do you want to play? We have them all. Black Ops? No. Modern Warfare? Modern Warfare 2? Modern Warfare 4? No. We want the World War one. It's like, okay. They came in specifically to play World at War. I just found that kind of ironic.
Deary me. I mean, if we were talking about biggest releases this year that have come out and have been a disappointment, any of you playing Evolve?
No.
Really good game, but anyone that's playing it? Yeah, it's out. Anyone playing it?
They murdered that with the PR prior to the game, didn't they?
They did.
Which is a shame.
It is actually a good game, but we're not talking about those games. What we are talking about is saying goodbye, really. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast this week. Make sure you do subscribe on iTunes or wherever you subscribe. YouTube.com/GodIsAGeek. Follow Calvin at Calvin Robinson, myself at GBSF, Dan at MacShanks, and... should I spell yours? It's at Mabruski, isn't it?
Yeah,
actually, once upon a time on the God is Geek podcast, we used to ask people to explain their Twitter handles, and I do feel that just for one night only, we have to bring that back and ask, what the hell is a Mabruski?
Well, Murphy is... The Mur bit is Murphy, obviously. And then the bro
Are you a
bit...
PewDiePie fan?
No. I did like him at one point, but it's not based on that. I only realised after the fact that it sounded like this. Then the bro bit, basically, I can't really explain why my name's like that because it derived from something that's private information.
Oh,
I can tell you off. It's weird. I don't want to give it away. It's really weird.
You have to tell us now.
No, I think it's better if he doesn't.
I can tell you off screen, but it's really something.
Do you like skiing?
No, dude, I liked it. I liked it because it sounded Russian, like my brothers. That's why I liked it. That's why I used it. But where the name derived from, I can't say because it could get my personal information on something somewhere hacked into.
What?
Shall we say? I can explain. I know it sounds stupid. I can explain.
You just made it sound like you could be on the sex offenders list, mate.
What?
You just said I could get my name on some sort of list somewhere.
No, I said if I tell you how this name came about, it could get personal information hacked into.
Oh, okay.
If that makes more sense.
I totally read into that. Let's just finish the podcast. Make sure you follow at God is a Geek. Just for the record, Dan Murphy is not on any lists of any description.
As far as we know.
That we know of.
He's definitely not, Calvin.
And if he is, we've got Nails who sort him out anyway. So thanks to all three of you to being here. Colm will be back next week, I think. Well, again, assuming he doesn't, horribly die on the flight back or something, then...
Oh, please don't say that.
Look, I think I can after let's just finish. The amount he has to go at me about the old heart attack. Yeah, it's one night only kind of thing, isn't it? So, he'd take it in good heart. But see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.